you guys, and welcome to the Rubber Room. It's me, Chris Colley. It is Monday, and that means it's a More Fun Monday class tonight. So we're going to start off with these cards. I'm going to make sure I'm in the right spot. More Fun Monday classes include 3 cards, and when you place a minimum $35 order on my website at rubberroom.stampinup.net, I will send you the cards that we make during class. You'll get a little card kit. I won't actually send you the whole finished card, but you'll get a card kit. Yeah, let me see if I can get you a little more centered here. So you will get a whole card kit, and you can put the cards together watching this video. You will have to add your own stamps though. But other than that, you'll be all set. And I will post the host code that you need to use in this post when I am done. This weekend, I did a new catalog retreat, and we did 3 cards in each class. And this is one of the cards, one of the classes that we did was the Daffodil Daydream class. So that's what I'm going to share with you tonight. We actually did 3 different classes, and or 4 different classes, and I will share them with you throughout the rest of this month. Hi Kay, hi Nancy. Nancy, did you guys get hit by those tornadoes? Boy, what a mess that was, wasn't it? Awful, just awful. I worried about you guys down there. In fact, you've probably had more bad weather than we have here in the past couple of weeks. Okay, so we're going to start off with our card base, and it is already scored. When you got your kit at class, everything was already cut and scored. So you just have to do the manipulating it. Oh yeah, Judy is fine. We talked to her. Hi Monica, thanks for watching. So I'm glad that you guys are fine, Nancy. That storm was kind of horrible. So we have this little piece here, and this is going to be our stamped image. For this class, you got some ribbon, which I probably am going to have to grab mine because I, of course, forgot it. And some ribbon and some gems. Lots of fun little pieces for this card. So this is going to be your card base. This will be our focal point. And this piece we are going to cut with a die, as well as that piece. So this is going to go on the bottom of our card, and then this one is going to go on the top up here. So let's start off. I'm just going to use my Stampin Seal to put these pieces together for you. I hope you guys all had a nice weekend, other than the weather, of course. Our day Saturday was really busy, but we had a fun time. I'll be sharing some pictures with you later this week as we kind of go along. So I'm going to just pop this up here. There we go. I have to go back up here so I can. Okay, and then I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to put this one on here. I think I like it going that way best. With just a little bit of Stampin' Seal down there. And then I'm going to bring in my blends. And I'm going to start off with my light Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to color all of my daffodil with the light. And I like to use my blunt tip with this. I usually only use my my bigger brush, my brush tip, when I am doing some flicking with it, which I think we will be doing later with these cards too. So, and then I'm just going to come in with my dark Daffodil Delight and just kind of color right over the highlighted lines that they give you. They're just included right in the stamp. It makes it really super easy to do. Okay. And then I'm going to pop in with my light again and just blend them out. And that's going to just kind of blend it all together and give it a real nice, soft, kind of fluffy look to it. Sometimes that noise that the blends make drives me crazy. Drive me crazy, crazy. Okay. And then let's get out some ink here. Get my goodies all out and lined up. And I'm going to take, just going to color with my light mossy meadow. And I'll color those leaves. Real quick. There is a bit of coloring with the daffodil. If you find coloring relaxing, and it's not a whole lot, but there is a little bit. And you can color with your blends, you can color with your markers, you could use a blending brush, you could use your re-inker and your Wink of Stella if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to put Happy Mother's Day down here at the bottom so I can put my flower up here. And I'm going to be using Evening Evergreen to stamp my sentiment and my words with. So just some quick little taps because you don't want to get ink all the way around like that. So you don't want to press your stamp really hard down on your ink pad. Okay. And then I'm going to take this one, which also comes in the stamp set. I'm going to put it right at the bottom. This is going to be the inside panel of our card. So I'm going to put it right down at the bottom of this. Make sure, it's hard upside down to make sure I've got it straight. So let's see how straight I can do it. Oh, good. Good. I like that one. Okay. So let's put these things back in here. And I'm going to take a little piece of the bumblebee ribbon. And I'm just going to tie a bow with that. This bumblebee ribbon is a little bit stiff. So I'm going to take my bone folder and just put it on top of my bone folder and then put my thumb on it and pull it through. And that will soften it up so it's a bit easier to tie my bow. And there we go. Yeah, let's get my scissors here. Okay, and we can put you back in there. And I am going to, just for a minute, run and get my my gems for this one. I will be right back. I always think I have everything, and you guys know I never do. So, found my ribbon. I didn't find my gems, so we'll just use some rhinestones. So I'm not looking all over while you guys are here waiting. Okay, so I'm going to need to cut 3 pieces. Okay, and I think we can cut all 3 of them at one time. So my sandwich is going to be my number 1 plate, my 2, my 3, and another 3 for this one. So let's bring these pieces in here. I'm going to have my flower, and that's going to line up just perfectly on top of it. I'm going to put a little Post-it note on there, and this is going to be my little one, and this is going to be my big one. Well, let's put them this way. It's like a little puzzle, but when the puzzle works out. Okay. So now I'm just going to take a little Post-it note to hold all of these kind of straight and in place. This one won't matter so much, but I am going to put one on there just in case. So I'm just going to go back and make sure it's exactly where I want it. I don't want it to move when it's going in and out of the machine, because then I'll have to cut another one, and sometimes they have a tendency when you get the plate on them to move. And you can use, I actually had out a spool of Post-it tape at class, and that worked good too. But I don't have that here, so we're just going to do this. So you don't have to wait for me to go on the hunt again. I'll bring in my cut and emboss machine. Love this machine. It goes up on the sides, so you can make it really small and portable. Let's see. I can see I'm over too far. There we go. And it cuts it just like butter. There's always a lot of creaking and cracking. It sounds like things are breaking, but they are not. All is good. We did lots of different kind of card patterns when we were here. I think I need that again. So these are the stitched rectangle dies, and I love these guys. If you don't have them, you definitely need them. Anyone who watches me all the time knows I use them all the time. I don't hardly make a card where I don't use those. Okay. And this goes in here. We'll move this over here until next time. I think we can use those notes again. Okay. So now we just have to build our card. And I'm going to take a little Stampin' Seal and put it right on the back of my rectangle. And my words. And then I'm just going to add, wow, that is really crooked, isn't it? There we go, better. I'm gonna put some dimensionals on my daffodil. And I have this little bag here of the foam adhesive strips that I cut down for something. And so I'm just gonna use that. It'll be the perfect size behind some of those stems. So if you don't have the foam adhesive strips, they come in like, they're about this long, and they're just like our dimensionals, only they are more rectangle, and they're straight, so they're not the same little circles. So lots of times when I'm using a base like this, I'll use those. And it'll hold it on there very nicely. And I'm just going to put my words here. And we have these great butterflies in the catalog. Let's see. Here they are. They're brass, little brass butterfly gems, and they come in 2 different sizes. So you have a small one and then a medium one or a big one. And they're already sticky on the back. Something sticky on my envelope, so they're not coming out of there too easily. Okay, let me get my little take your pick a tool. Should have had all that stuff out. Here's my little take your pick tool, and I'm going to put just one of the bigger butterflies down in here. Okay. When you place an order, you'll get the little butterfly in your packet. The only thing that you're not going to get are these stamped images. Okay, and then I'm going to actually put this on. We'll start with the piece that's going to be the inside of our card. And I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal to adhere that. Your Stampin' Seal works best if you hold it straight up. And, oh, looks like mine is all gone. Let's see what I can eke out there. Okay. And again, I'm going to try and get it straight on my grid paper so that I can see that it's straight. Okay. And then I'm going to take this piece. Remember, this piece is going to be our bottom piece. So I'm going to line it up right there. And I'm going to put some adhesive here and here. And then I'm going to eke out every last bit of adhesive. I'm going to put some adhesive right at the bottom and the top of our little daisy. That's going to be the focal point of our card. Okay, so we'll bring this back in. Just make sure everything is lined up. And put that in the middle. We'll get it nice and straight. Okay. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my Wink of Stella. I love this. It gives it just some little bit of sparkle and shiny. In their goodie bags, they got some the cotton ribbon and the Wink of Stella, and then the iridescent gems. And I put mine away, but we're going to use some rhinestones instead. Okay, so that's, if you can see that, it's just really, really shiny and soft. Has a really pretty look to it. So I'm going to bring my bow back in, and I'm just going to kind of play with it till I get it the right size that I want so that it's proportional to my little image. Oh, and I didn't even tie a bow in that one. We're just going to tie a little knot. And trim it. So I got a really big piece of ribbon that I just wanted a little knot with. So I'm gonna cut this, just trim it. We'll go down a little bit over here too. I hope you guys are enjoying all of your Sale-a-Bration items. This paper is one of my favorites. I really have a ton of favorites from Sale-a-Bration. And for those of you who don't know, Sale-a-Bration, for every $50 you spend or $100, you can pick something from the Sale-a-Bration catalog for free. This particular pack of paper is a 12 by 12 pack of paper, and it is so pretty. I love that black and yellow together. Okay, so that's going to be the top of ours. And then also one of the other things you can pick is a pack of 6 by 6 rainbow paper that coordinates with the rainbow stamp set. There's some really good, there's a stamp set in there with a pack of paper that coordinates with it. Lots of goodies in that catalog. I think I've shared it with you a couple times, and we've even done some classes with it. So here we go, and let's just, I'm gonna get some rhinestones because I knew right where these were. Actually, I'm more cleaned up than I think that I am. And these rhinestones will be super pretty too. That one seems to be okay. And I'll just get my, take your pick. And these do come in different sizes too. So I'm just going to take a couple small ones and just kind of sprinkle them around my card. There we go. How about that? So you have this kind of really unique fold, And this just kind of lifts up, and I love that finished kind of trim that you have with that one. Okay, so that's our first one. Card number 1 is in the books. So let me take a peek at the comments here. Be sure you guys can still see me while I pull my other basket around. Hi, Catherine. Thanks for being here. Ooh, from Chicago. I bet it's windy and cold there. Hi, Carol. Thanks for stopping in. All right, we'll move on to our next card. And this one we'll do some flicking with. And this one is a Z-fold card. Okay. Let me grab my materials here. So we have it's a regular card size. It's 5.5 by 8.5. And then it's scored on the 5.5 side at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. This one opens like this. Okay. And again, more gorgeous designer series paper. I love that. So we'll start off with our card base. And it's going to be kind of like a valley fold. So we're going to just crisp up that score line by burnishing it. And then we're going to take that top of our card, or the front of our card, and just fold it over. And then we'll burnish that score line. Okay? And it's going to go like this. And we have this piece, which we're going to layer this one on top of. And then this piece is going to go on the inside behind it, okay? So this piece is going to go right here. So we'll layer that up to begin with. You can see what a pretty, the other side of that paper is. It's just so gorgeous. I love that little, it's papaya. And it is so pretty and soft looking. Okay, so our card's going to open this way. We'll just put this in the middle. And then I'm going to move everything out of the way so we don't get ink all over everything. So this is just, you're going to take your designer series piece of paper and you're going to take your blend and you're going to use the brush tip part, okay? So what's going to happen is you're going to put your brush tip right against, can you see that? It's going to go right against my cap. And then I'm just going to flick it out. So it's going to go right against my cap. And I'll show you when I'm done what it's doing. We're just kind of moving it around my paper. And this paper is really pretty too if you didn't want to do this. But I decided I needed to add a little bit of color to it. And I wasn't worried about how much color because we're going to put that vanilla piece right on top of it to write our greeting on. Okay? So you're just going to get these nice little flecks of pale papaya in there. I hope you can see that. Okay, and I have it all over my mat too, so you want to really clear your space out. And this one we are going to stamp. I'm going to stamp in my Memento ink because I do want to color it with my blends. And always when you're coloring with your blends, you use your Memento ink. Okay. And I think actually I'm gonna kind of put this at a little tilt, kind of like this. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp Easter Blessings. And this is one of those stamp sets that comes with sentiments and images. So this Easter Blessings is right in this same stamp set. Okay. then I just have 2 blends here. And I'm going to actually bring in this butterfly. And I'm going to color the butterfly with my pale papaya and my light flirty flamingo. And these colors will look a lot softer when we put a little bit of Wink of Stella on them. And let's get that brush tip here. This daffodil set is so, so pretty. There are a lot of, oh, I put green there. What was I doing? Trying to talk and stamp at the same time? Here's a little one. All right, let's try this again. I'll start with the pink and see if that makes a difference, if I can concentrate long enough to get it all colored, right? Because I do not want green butterfly wings. Although I'm sure it would look nice. And the pale papaya and the flamingo are going to blend really nicely for our tulip. It's going to look almost like it does on the piece of designer series paper, which isn't too hard to do because the designer series paper is meant to coordinate with this stamp set, and they give you all on the back of it, they list all of the colors that it coordinates with, so you don't have to do any guessing. When you buy that pack of paper or get that pack of paper for free, you know exactly which colors in the catalog it's going to match. So I'm going to come back in with my Flirty Flamingo and just do the top ruffly edge of my daffodil. And it's just going to kind of blend in there. And then I'm going to take my green. And this one is Old Olive, and it's the light Old Olive. And you do, whenever you're using your blends, they're going to bleed through your paper. So you want to be sure you have scrap paper under them. And I normally, when I'm using my blends, will try and use the heavy or the thick white or the thick vanilla, just because I think I get a better coloring on those. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my little Wink of Stella here and just color that flower. And it's just kind of a really nice finishing touch to it. And where did my paper snips go? Here we go. We're going to cut this butterfly out. The set of dies that coordinate with this comes with a butterfly, but it's a little bit of a different shape than this one. So this one you do have to fancy cut or fussy cut, however you want to say it, but it just takes a minute to do. It's not one of those things that you're going to have to really be committed to. It'll just give you a little break before we assemble the card. Some people find cutting relaxing, some people find coloring relaxing. I think it's a whole process for me. That whole crafting process is very relaxing. And we had everybody here this weekend. We had such a good time. We haven't been together in a while due to the way society is with COVID running rampant now. So it was a good chance for us to all get together and enjoy some stamping time. And I think everybody liked relaxing. So here we go. I'm going to also, I think, give this little Wink of Stella action. Just because I can. It would have been better to do that before I cut it all out, but I think I can manage. We don't want it to fly away. You'll have just enough room to hold on to it. And Wink of Stella doesn't take a very long time to dry at all. So we'll put all of our other pieces together and then come back to those two. This piece would be nice back there too, wouldn't it? So pretty. That's the worst part, is making the decisions about which sides of the paper to use, and it's all gorgeous. So you have a tendency to want to not use it because it is so beautiful, right? It's beautiful. We want to keep it for ourselves. I'm going to share mine. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to put this vanilla daffodil on there. Well, there it really goes for real. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, when your snail or Stampin' Seal is out, super easy to refill. You're just going to pull it apart, and this blue piece comes out, and you throw it away. And then apparently, if you're like me, you have all this sticky stuff up here that we just want to get rid of. And we'll put our new Stampin' Seal. Your Stampin' Seal refill, you're just going to tear the top of your bag off. And it opens like a zipper, like a Ziploc bag. And on this side, you have two holes. You have a little one and a big one. And they're just going to go right inside this case, the little one and the big one. So you just drop it in there. And then these are your little finger grips. And they're going to go right with the finger grips in the case. And voila, that's how easy it is. And then I just roll it till I get it started there. And there we go. I'm going to put it right on here. And then what I'm going to do, because I have this Z-fold, I don't want to stick this down because then you won't be able to open your card. So I'm going to put tape here and tape here, okay? So put tape right in the middle where I want it to go, and then on this edge. And then it'll be a nice strong hold, but you'll still be able to open your card. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is put some Stampin' Seal on this other piece of vanilla. And I want this to go right under the Pear Pizzazz piece. Okay, so I'm going to make that happen by putting it, I'm just going to hold it right under my Pear Pizzazz piece. Just like that, and then go down. Okay, and I can see I'm really crooked, but I didn't put any pressure on it, so I should be able to just straighten it right out. Let's see if I can do that. Well, maybe I can. Okay, I'm not going to lift this side up because I want that side to stay right where it is, because I know it's not going to show this way. Okay, so we can open it up just like that. And this is where your greeting is going to go. If you want to write a bigger greeting than that, you can always take it over to the other side too. I'm just going to fold my little butterfly wings up. I'm going to put a little glue dot behind them. And then it's going to go right up here. Okay, and you can see how the daffodil looks almost exactly like that daffodil in the paper, and how well that coordinates together with it, right? And I'm going to just take, this is that mesh ribbon. I think it's so pretty. And I'm going to take just a little piece of it and tie it on there. And this is going to have a little bit different of a look than the one we did in class. The one we did in class, I put this piece all the way over to the edge and then ran this up the side of it. And I'll show you that in a minute. But I'm just going to use a smaller bow right up here. I don't know, I guess I could use it right down there. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll put a smaller one right there. So it looks like it's kind of right at the bottom of my daffodil. I'm going to do that with a couple mini glue dots. The silver ribbon I think is so pretty. So that's going to kind of pop it up a little bit. Scissors almost got away from me. I like my big ribbon scissors. Okay, there we go. So this is your Z-fold. It's going to open like that. And what I did on this one, you can see I took my placed this all the way over to the edge instead of just here. And then I added my ribbon all the way along here. And then tied it in a little bit bigger of a bow. Okay, so let's add a few little rhinestones to this. Got my little trusty, I think I'll go with a bigger one this time. Oh my goodness. I'll do there. And here. And maybe right there. Okay. So that's our Easter card. And we have one more here. I'll get this one out of the way. And let's see. What do we have in this one? Oh, this one is a tricky little concept to it with some frames from the Hippo Happiness die set. Okay, so this one is just a regular fold like this. Okay, and then we've cut out these die pieces. So you can see there is a Blushing Bride piece back here, and then one here with a very vanilla on top of it. Okay, so let's bring in our pieces. And your base is going to be 4 1/4 by 11, and we've scored that 11-inch side at 5 1/2. And we're just going to burnish it on our score line. Get that nice crisp fold in it. And we're going to bring in our designer series paper, and this piece is 5 1/4 by 4, and that's just your basic layering size. So we're going to add that to the top using some Stampin' Seal. And then we are going to, these 3 pieces that are the same size are going to be cut with the dies. And this one we are going to stamp on. So I'm going to stamp in some, again, Memento ink. And because this is a larger stamp, I'm inking it with the rubber side up, so I can just make sure that I get that middle part all inked up. Get a little extra stamp pad here too. How about that? All right, and then we're just going to plop that onto our vanilla. And again, I'm using the thick vanilla just because it's gonna hold the color from the blends better. And I'm going to use my Mint Macaron, and this is the dark one. And remember, they tell you exactly what colors coordinate with the DSP. So you don't have to do the guesswork for this one. You just look on the back, see what colors you need, and you're good to go. We'll just do some quick coloring here. And they are really bold images, so it doesn't take you long to color them at all. Good job while you're watching a movie or waiting for somebody to play soccer or basketball. I guess basketball is in season now, so If you have kids and you're waiting for a basketball game to start or practice to end, just grab a couple blends and you can color some images while you're waiting. And I do have, this is my light petal pink, which I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna color the whole thing. I'm actually gonna do one flower at a time. And that is gonna allow me to blend it a little bit more. When you're blending, your ink should be a little bit wet for you to get the best result. So I'm gonna go in with my dark. And again, I'm just gonna put it on those lines that they already have there for us. And then go back in, and it's still gonna be a little bit damp. So I can go back in and just blend it in. Let's see if I can do this upside down so you guys can see a little better. So that's my light. There's my dark right above the shading line they have. Just a little bit more with my light to blend it a little bit more. And there's my dark. Just coming in to blend it. And it's still going to be a little bit wet. So I'll come back in with my light. And you can see that's just going to give it a little bit more dimension to it. And one more. I think this petal pink has such a soft look to it. It makes me wish I had a nice cozy blanket that color. Isn't it funny how colors make us feel certain things? If I'm wearing a real bright color, I feel a little bit sassy, and with a darker color, I just feel a little bit more cozy and at home and comfortable. Sometimes I don't think we realize how much of an impact our color choices have on our moods and what we're feeling. Okay, I'm going to actually cut all of these before. I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on there, of course, but I'll cut everything before that. So we have 3 dies, but remember, we're going to cut 2 of the petal pink pieces. So we're going to be running things through here a couple of times. So let's start off with this one. This one's going to get the big with the little inside it. That's how we're going to make that really nice frame that I showed you on the card. So I'm going to lay them out and then bring in there we go, the little Post-it note, and that's going to hold it. I'm going to bring in 2 there. And these are the ones I used the last time, so you can use them a couple times. As long as they're still a little bit sticky, that's all that you really want, is for that sticky part to hold those dies in place. Well, there we go. Not liking that very much. Let me see what I can do. I might have to get a new one for this, because this one I definitely want that space there. And so it's important that it really does hold tight when I put it through. Okay. And apparently I can't talk and put it through. Put it on there at the same time, right? That'd be asking a lot from this left-handed girl. Okay, so we're gonna put the other number 3 plate on top, and that's gonna go through. All right. And then get a little sticky on that number 3 plate. I'm gonna have to clean off there. Okay, so let's bring it back through, and I'm going to cut the flowers with this one. And I want to get it on there nice and straight, and then put my sticky note on there. There we go. And I actually am going to move that over a little bit so I can cut one of these pieces at the same time. Where did that big one go? There it is. Okay. Put my number 3 on top, and we're ready to roll. I actually got a swap card from one of my downline, Jackie, who used this little trick in her card, and I thought it was so beautiful. So I had to commandeer it and use it for my card. And then we're going to cut one more. And then we'll be all done with our cutting for tonight. Hopefully I'll remember when we started on Saturday, we got new plates for both of the big shots, and you can see I'm going to have to get more new plates. We really did lots of die cutting, but it is super easy, and it gives you really that kind of impactful wow look that you want. So let's get our pieces together here. I'm going to throw my Post-it notes away now. And there's my image. Okay, and here's that vanilla piece that we wanted for the edge. That's that just kind of gorgeous frame on the edge. And then you'll be left with this piece that you can use for another project somewhere down the line if you want to. Okay. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these pieces and we're going to adhere it with some Stampin' Seal. Let's get that there. Right in the middle of our card. Okay, so we want it in the middle. We want to make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to take a little bit of green glue and put it on the back of this frame. Oh, it's really coming out. Sometimes when I store it upside down like that, it kind of blobs out when you first open it. So I'm going to give this just a minute to get a little bit tacky. See if I can spread it out a little bit more. And while it's getting tacky, I am going to grab my Wink of Stella and where did she go? It's amazing to me. You guys hear me say this all the time. They have not moved. So how on earth could I possibly lose something? And yet, I manage to every single time. Let's see if I put her in here. Yep. Put her in the basket and put her away. Look, I was done with her. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly bring in my flowers and add the Wink of Stella. And then that will have time to dry while I'm kind of building my frame. And if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you get these little dimensional dots that are a little bit smaller than our mini glue dots. And they work really well behind this frame. Missed a couple petals there. Okay. So I'll let that dry for a minute. And then I'm just gonna take my frame and put it on this piece. So this is that second piece of Blushing Bride that we did. I'm sorry, it's not Blushing Bride, it's Petal Pink. And I'm just gonna put that right on top of it. I've got a little bit of extra glue down there. I always manage to do that. Got my little adhesive remover. And I'm just gonna get rid of that. There we go. Voila, so beautiful, right? And again, I'm gonna bring in some of these adhesive strips, foam adhesive strips that I already cut for another project. I'm gonna make this one a little bit smaller. Do it on both sides. There we go, and kind of up there. And I'm gonna put this one on dimensionals. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the foam adhesive strips. And if you don't have these, they work the same way that your regular dimensionals do, or your mini dimensionals. Either one. So we're gonna put those on there. We'll bring in our card. Just gonna check and make sure we're going in the right direction. We'll peel these off here. And this one, actually, I'm gonna use, I did not put a sentiment on the outside, but I'm gonna use it for a sympathy card. So that's gonna go on the inside. So we're not gonna have a sentiment on the outside. But we are, of course, gonna add a little bit of bling to it and a bow. So we'll get rid of these pieces. We'll kind of put this right in the middle. I kind of like it like this. Okay, and then this is the 2-pack of cotton ribbon. And so we're just going to use this Blushing Bride and tie a little bow. I'm sorry, I keep saying Blushing Bride, but this is Petal Pink. And it actually comes in Petal Pink and Misty Moonlight. The Petal Pink has a little bit more orange to it than the Blushing Bride does. And this is a nice thin ribbon that is really easy to work with. And if you ordered this class to go, they will be mailed by the end of the week. I'm shooting for Thursday, but they'll definitely go out before the end of the week. So if you make a purchase of $35 or more before next Monday's More Fun Monday class, you will get these card kits. And you will just get the card kits if you place an order now. If you ordered it to go, you're gonna get all of the product and the table gifts and all the fun stuff that everybody that was here Saturday got. But you can still get these card kits if you want them. You just need to place an order using the hostess code that I'm gonna pop up on the website or on the description of this blog in just a few minutes. So I'm gonna add this right down here. And then we'll bring in our jewels. Here we go. And we're just gonna add a couple of these. I think I'll do the middle-sized one. One down there, one up here. Oops, and maybe one right there. Okay. So there we go. This one, that's your little Z fold, and then this one. So if you place a minimum $35 order on my website, rubberroom.stampinup.net, with the host code, you will get these 3 kits, card kits, snail mailed to you, and I will also email you a set of tutorials. You'll have 15 or 16 heart-themed tutorials. So thanks for joining me tonight. I will see you right here on Wednesday at noon for Lunchtime with Chris live, and I'll see you then. Thanks, ladies.